Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I extended the floors of my covered patio using pavers. The first thing I did is I marked my work area. And in that work area I took off the grass. I moved all the dirt around, trying to make it as even as I could. I wanted to do this so that way when I get to the point where I drop in the paver base and I need to level it, it won't be so difficult. Now the ground looks pretty even, so I'm going to go to my next step, which is building a trench. I'm going to use this trench as a drainage that goes in front of my pergola around the pavers I'm making right now, and it's going to go under it as well, so that way the water will run freely when it rains and I won't have any flooding issues in the future. So I live in Houston. We get a fair amount of rain here, and in this part of my backyard I wouldn't say it gets flooded, but it does hold a little bit of water in the area where I'm building my pavers. So I made the trench follow the same pathway that the rain normally follows, which is along the fence line. So the rocks that you see me putting into the drain I created, they are what you call septic rocks. Now the place that I bought them, which is the Yard Depot over in Houston. So I spoke with the employee there and I told him about the project that I was doing, and I wanted to get his opinion. What's the best rocks to use in my trench to act as a drain? The rocks that he advised me to use are these septic rocks. Reason being, since they're large rocks, they have a large surface, and when dirt and debris get into the water, they won't get clogged up as easily compared to having to use pea gravel or crushed gravel, which tend to get clogged up due to the size of the smaller rocks. Septic rocks are bigger rocks and water goes through them quickly and freely, and you shouldn't have any problems, so I figured he knows what he's talking about, so I went with him. Now that I got the drain all taken care of, the next step was to put the weed barrier down. And when I got the weed barrier to the fence, I actually stapled it along the fence line. That way when I get the paver base on top of it and I start tamping it down, it's not going to fall into the newly made drain. Now it's time to put the paver base down. I'm using decomposed gravel. From what I was told is that the longer it sits there and it keeps getting pressed on and stepped on and walked on, it'll start getting more and more solid. So I figured this would be the best thing to use for the project that I was using. Now that I got all the paver base down, I'm going to go ahead and start spreading it evenly. That way when it comes time to hand tamping it down, it'll be all set. And I am kind of running out of daylight here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up for tonight and I'll be all ready for tomorrow. Day 2 and we're almost there. First things first, I went ahead and saturated the ground with water. Then I began hand tamping. Hand tamping took a while, but I got it all set and looked pretty good, so now it's time to start leveling it up. So I dropped down some 1/2 inch PVC pipe and started hand tapping it to the floor. That way I can start leveling it up. By the way, since you made it this far into the video, it'd be greatly appreciated if you can hit that like button, maybe even also subscribe. It'll help me greatly so that way I can continue making videos like this. So what you see me doing right now is I have the 2 PVCs all lined up so that way I can start screening the paver base by moving the 2x4 back and forth looking for any high spots and low spots. With the low spots, what I'll do is I'll just fill it in. Any high spots I'll push away, and I'll also be looking at the level that I have on top of the 2x4. That way I can constantly stay even and I'll be all set before I put down the pavers. What I have here are 24x24 white pavers, which I got over at the Blue Store for $9 each. I bought a total of 15 of them, so that set me back about $135. I'll put a list of the full breakdown, cost, and materials of where I got them. That way if you decide you want to do a project like this, if you're in the Metro Houston area, it'll actually show where I got them, and you might be able to do a project just like this or close to the same cost that I did depending on where you are. Now what you don't see here is I actually made a cardboard template before I laid the pavers down because they're quite heavy to move around, so I didn't want to be moving around a heavy paver just to see how many pavers I needed inside one row. The cardboards helped a lot. I was able to figure out how many pavers I need as well as the spaces in between. Now it's time for the easy part of the project, setting down the decorative rocks. I am using shallow rocks, which I got from the orange store. They're about $5.98 when I got them. I got a total of about 9 of them, setting back $54, which wasn't too bad, but I'm glad I didn't have to buy too many because it was starting to get pricey, but later in the video when you see the end result, they were worth it. And there we have it, the ending of my paver project. I was able to extend the floors of my covered patio using pavers and decorative rocks, and I gotta say, it looks freaking awesome. If you look back into my video, you'll actually see my side yard. It looks so bad. I had so much leftover building material from when I built the pergola, and I had overgrown grass. I had to finish it to make this whole project look even more complete than it already was. So if you want to see that video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that like button so that way I know you like this video, and hit that bell icon so that way you can be notified when I post that new video for you. I hope you like this one. Enjoy, take care, and I'll see you later.